Hi and welcome to Edward's Motorhomes. I'm Andy and today we're going to carry on with our handover videos. Today we're going to look at a Roller Team 707 2021 model. Hope you find it informative. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to work from the outside in on this handover, but the one thing I do want to show you first of all is just here. This is the release for your bonnet. So again, if you do need to get under the bonnet, just from there. Next thing we need to look at is we have your fuel filler just here and your AdBlue tank just there. Something very important to remember is you'll have two keys. You have your habitation key, which pretty much takes care of everything else, and you have your ignition key. Now your ignition key will work on your driver's door and it will also work off your fuel filler just there. Next, we have your wastewater drain. So you just pull that out from here and that will drain down your wastewater tank. Fresh water fill just here, which again is just a normal hose to fill up the tank. Electric hookup. Something very important, when you're releasing your electric hookup cable, press down on that black switch there, otherwise it won't release. And of course we have your awning light just above your habitation door. Next we come to storage. Now something very impressive on the 707 is the storage area, now adaptive it is. Because as you can see underneath you've got your normal day-to-day storage. But if you need more storage, you can take this mattress and you can place it on the bunk above. Then you push the whole thing up and that will lock off against that wall, and without the mattress on, it will lock up flush. So you have all that area for storage. Next we have the reversing camera, we have your bike rack, and underneath the van we have your spare wheel. When we come around this side, again access to your storage area and your cassette toilet. Now the cassette toilet isn't the horrible job that people think it's going to be. How it actually works is, inside the van, which we'll come to later, on the toilet bowl itself you'll have a grey handle. Now that will open and close the blade on the toilet. For obvious reasons, the blade must be closed for you to release the cassette. And how you do that is you have this blue catch just here. So you lift that up and pull your cassette out. Now, all campsites will have what they call an Alson point, and an Alson point is where you actually dispose of your waste. So, you roll this to your Alson point, you get there, you take off this cap. When you're flushing away, it's very important to press this button on the back because that will allow air to flow through your cassette so it doesn't plug out all over the place, it'll run away smoothly. When you've done that, flush through the hose, flush away again, add your new blue or green chemical and lock that back across. Now, one thing that is very important is when you're putting your chemical in, put it directly into your cassette. Don't drop it down your toilet, it's a very strong chemical and it will discolour your bulb. Next we come to your fridge vents, here and here. And then we have your gas locker just here. Then we have extra storage, which comes into the sill. Now this is great if you've got things like leveling chocks and electric cables, dirty things you don't really want to be putting in the van. Fantastic for that. And then of course we have the flue for your heating, which is just here. Let's take a look inside. Okay, so we're going to start in the front of the vehicle and we're going to work our way back. So when we look at the driver's door, you have your electric windows just here and your electric wing mirrors just there. Here we have your wash wipes, your headlights and your indicators, your cruise control. On the steering wheel, we have your telephone controls and we have your radio controls. Now, just here, I want to bring your attention to this button. This button is for your media center. Now, how it works is we've got it flicked onto number 1 at the moment. So even though the engine isn't running and the ignition isn't on, you've got your media center on, which is great when you're parked up and you want that power going through. But you must remember that when you're traveling, to knock that off. Because as otherwise, when you shut the doors and lock up of an evening, if you've still got that on number 1, that will still be playing. It won't go off with the ignition. If you've got it on 0, when you put your ignition key in, it will come on like the normal car stereo. So next we have your tablet or your phone holder just here. Now how this works is you just pull up from the back, you unclip just here. So again, you can pop your mobile in there, or you can pop a tablet in there. You can then charge it through your USB or your 12-volt controller just here. When you finish with it, pop the clip in, those two back in, and knock that down. Next, we have your media center. So if we go to the home page on the media center, you can see you have your sat nav, you have your FM radio, you have your DAB radio, your camera, the brightness of your panel, your Easy Connect, your USBs, your iPods, obviously your Bluetooth, and of course your HDMI and your demo for the system. Also down this side you can have your favorites, your home page, your camera and your navigation. Underneath this we have your air conditioning and we have your heater controls. Then we have your traction plus, your hill descent, your hazard warning lights. This one here will lock or unlock your cab doors, and of course we've got your heated mirrors. Over on this side, just in here, we have your cable there for your USB for your media center and your cool box. Now, if you've got your cab air conditioning on and you want to keep a bar of chocolate or a bottle of water or something like that in here, it'll keep it very, very cool. After that, we then come to your Remis cab blinds. Now, with your Remis cab blinds, first of all, of course, we have the windscreen blind. So you pinch and slide on both sides. They will meet in the middle and lock. Now, something that's very important is sometimes if you turn up somewhere late of the night, you pull these together, it's a very strong magnet. It may actually be attached up to say around about there, but not the rest of the way up. You start moving around in the morning, you go and have a shower or something, and that can happen. Pop an elastic band around or something like that. It just saves an awful lot of embarrassment. Next, make sure you clip these back in properly or you'll be turning left as the driver and that will come straight across in front of your face. Then we have your windows. Now how your windows will actually work is, again, you pinch just here, try and keep this straight and it will just clip in. When you bring them back, again get to that point, keep it straight, tuck it at the bottom and clip into place. The Remis cab blinds are very, very easy to use and they're very practical, but just don't let children use them. They're very thin and they're very easily to damage. Next thing we have is obviously we have your two captain seats. Now these are both swivel captain seats. So you see we have that catch just here. So you pull that away and spin. Now on the side of the seats, you have these two catches. That one will adjust the front of the seat. That one will adjust the back of the seat. Now obviously when you've got some weight on there, it works like a pivot going up and down. Then of course we have the wheel just on the back for your backrest, and we also have the wheels on the armrest so you can adjust those to whatever height you want them to be as well. And there we have your cab. So underneath this seat just here we have your boiler. Now obviously with your boiler, when you've got your water pump on, you need to have your water sealed or you need to drain down, and that works through this switch just here. Now you'll see this blue switch. Now on the front of it there's a little button. Now that means if the button is out, that the boiler is open. So to close it, you turn and you press. That now means the boiler is sealed. If you open, that button pops out, the boiler is open. So again, if we were to now start pumping water through the water pump, it's going to come directly into the boiler and pour out straight all over the floor. Do that, the water will come into the boiler, it will stay, and it will then start running through your system. Now, this has got the automatic drain down, so again, if you get down to around about 2 degrees, it will automatically dump the water in your system. Okay, so I've removed the cushions here, but it's just so we can get easy access to the fresh water tank. So what you can see is just here, we have this panel. So once we remove the panel, unscrew the red top, you'll see in there we have 2 bungs. The lower bung is to completely drain down your fresh water tank. The higher bung is for your travel drain. That will leave around about 20 litres of water in there again, which is more than enough for when you're travelling. Okay, so the beauty of the 707 really is this fantastic lounge area. Now, obviously you've got plenty of seating, but also this table, when it comes to dining, you can fold over. Also, you can spin it in all sorts of different directions depending on where you want it. Catches for which are actually underneath. Now with this being the automatic, it's really classed as a 4-berth, 4 travel, but you can sleep another 2 people. Now all you would really need to do, obviously this does depend on how tall people are, but by removing these backrests just here, and again if you remove that one, you've actually got a decent sized bunk, and you can do exactly the same on this side. Okay, so here we have the electric bed. Now, the beauty of the electric bed is quite simple. It's giving you a fixed bed quality and comfort, but without taking up that sort of space. And how it works is, on your 12-volt control panel, you must make sure you've turned your power on. After that, you just press this button and it will drop the bed down. Now, once it comes down, you can see you've got a proper double bed here. Underneath, these will actually lock up to the roof, so again, it stops you from actually falling out of the bed in the middle of the night. But you can leave your quilt on there as long as it's not too thick. You must remember not to leave your cushions on. It will think somebody's still in the bed and it will blow a fuse as a safety precaution. But the real beauty is, like I say, you've got this fixed bed quality and comfort, but when you're done with it, you just press the button, up it goes, and away you go. So directly behind the passenger seat, you can see I've dismantled this bench. 2 reasons. One, if you've got passengers in there, you need to take the boarding out there so they've got the leg room. But mainly because I wanted to show you your USB charger just here, and your 230-volt socket there. And then underneath here, we have your leisure battery and we have your fuses. Okay, so here we have your TV prep. We have another 230-volt plug socket. TV bracket just here. Then of course we have this deep wardrobe just here, and you can see you have your solar controller just above. Then we have your 3-way fridge freezer. Now, how this works is obviously with a 3-way it's quite simple. You've got gas, you've got electric, and you've got battery. The one that tends to confuse people is battery, because you'd obviously assume that that would run off leisure battery, where it doesn't. It runs off vehicle battery. So obviously your vehicle must be running for it to be able to work on battery. Again, obviously when you've got it on gas, then you can run it off gas as long as your gas is on, and you must be plugged into the electric to run it off your electric. So as you can see, we've got this big streamlined fridge freezer here with your freezer compartment at the top, more fridge space underneath. Here we have storage with these long drawers that will pull out, because you've got a deep space behind there. So again, more soft close as well. Cutlery drawer in the centre. Another one just at the bottom, just there. Of course, then we have your sink. And we have your gas hobs just there. Underneath, we have your gas oven. And in here, we have your gas isolator switches and your trip switches. Okay, so in the bathroom, the first thing to tell you about, of course, is on the floor here we have this duct board, which means that you're not going to damage your shower while you're walking in and out of the toilet. Now, to have a shower, you must remove that, because then the blinds will come directly around you. Obviously, with the cassette itself, the top will swivel so you can get to the most comfortable position. But what I want to show you is this catch just here. Now, we were talking outside was about the blade. So as you can see at the moment, the blade's closed. Push that and it opens. Push it back, it closes. Now, the only reason you would ever want that open is if you're using it. Any other time, make sure you keep it closed. Now, just here we have the flush. For that, you must have your water pump on. And just down the back here, you'll see we've got this green light. Now, that means that the cassette is empty. If that turns red, the cassette is full. Then of course we have your shower, which is just here. Now, shower head just goes in there, and that literally comes out of your sink and just locks on. There we have your bathroom. So now we come to the rear bunks. Now, as I was telling you before, obviously about the storage, as you can see, I've popped the bottom mattress onto the top here. So what you can now do is lock that up against the wall, and again, all that then becomes garage space, so it gives you this massive storage area if you need it. Also, just in the floor here, we have an extra storage unit, and underneath this bottom mattress you'll see this netting. The netting will lock up just here to stop anybody in the top bunk from rolling out. Now, like I was saying, the beauty of this system is if you've got anything that you're travelling with, which is very large, it's great. Pop the bed back, travel like this. When you get there, you can take it out, put your mattress back on the bunk, you've got your bunks back. So here we have your 12-volt control panel. This bottom button here, that will turn on your 12-volt or turn off your 12-volt systems. This top button, that is for your water pump. This one will be for your awning light, and this one for your lights. Now, any lights that you've left on, when you turn this on, will come on automatically. But other lights, like this underslung one here, you do have to press the little light there, and that will bring those on. Next one is your temperature, and as you can see, it's a lovely warm 29 degrees in here. Then we have your water tanks. So S1 is your fresh water tank. Now how that will work is it will go up 33, 66, 99%. If you press the button again, it will give you R1, that is your wastewater tank. And again, it'll work in the same way, 33, 66, 99%. This button here shows you your power in your leisure battery, and this one in your vehicle battery. Next, we're going to talk about your heating system. Now just here, we have your thermostat for your heating system. And over here, we have the controls for the Truma system itself. So you press this button here to turn this on. Press it again and it will come up with these icons at the top. Now really what you need to do is go to the third icon along first of all. Press that button and this will give you your option of your heat source. So you have gas, mix 1, which is gas with 1 electric element, mix 2, which is gas and 2 electric elements, 1 electric element on its own, or 2 electric elements. For this reason, we'll just tap it on there because we've already, as you can see, got it plugged into the mains. Next, you go back to the first icon, and this is your temperature. So that will go anywhere up to 30 degrees. And if you wanted it at 20, you just press the button there, and that will then lock down to 20 degrees. That button there will just take you back to the main menu. Next one is your water. Now with your heating, you don't need water in your system. Obviously, for your water systems, you do. If you press on this button, again, first one is 40 degrees on eco, hot is 60 degrees, and boost will prioritise your hot water over everything else. Next icon is your vents. So you have off or vent. Press on vent, and that'll go anywhere up to number 10, and that's literally how much air you're pushing through your vents. Next one down, we have your timer. So again, if you want to set your heating to come on at 6 o'clock because you want to get up at 7 and it's lovely and warm, you do that just from here. Next one is your clock, and to adjust your clock, you just turn the dial there, press on the button when you've got it set to the right time period. Next one is your settings. So by pressing on there, you can offset your screen, change your temperature from degrees to Fahrenheit, change the brightness of your panel, change to a 12 or 24-hour clock, the language of the controller, your index, which I'll come back to in a second, and to reset the system. Now with your index, if you do something wrong, a warning triangle will come up just here. And basically what that will be, if you press on the warning triangle, it will give you a code which will then be stored in your index. You can then go onto Truma and they will be able to tell you what that code will mean. Now more often than not, it will be something along the lines of, you've put it on gas but you forgot to turn your gas on, or you've put it onto electric, you haven't been plugged into the mains. If you do get that warning triangle up, sometimes it will take you around about 15 minutes to reset the system. So next we come to your windows and your skylights. Something very important, when you're travelling, your windows and your skylights must be closed. They are made of plastic. If they catch the wind, they'll be gone. Now how they work is, obviously if you look at the big window, you've got these little buttons that you need to press in there. Same on the sides and just over here. Then you can push that open. To bring it back, nice and easy, you just bring it back. And like I say, remember to clip them in. Your blinds work from the bottom. You just press in there and you lift and release. Your fly screen, you'll see, is at the top. Now that is spring loaded, so that will need to be clipped either side into there and into there by just pulling those back either side. And then again, you can either bring the blind all the way down for your fly screen or take it up. Next, we come to your skylights. You'll have to excuse me here, I am a little bit on the short side, so I can't quite reach it to open it. But what I can show you is obviously you have your blind just there and your fly screen just there. Thank you for watching the latest in our instalment of videos on handovers on motorhomes. We really hope you found it informative. Thank you very much.